Hello, my name is Sarah Jane Haney, and this is my EDL 856 Module 1 presentation. A little bit about me. I was born and raised in Olathe, Kansas. I have a bachelor's in elementary education from the University of Kansas. I'm a first grade teacher at Eudora Elementary School. Eudora schools only consists of 3 schools, which is 1 elementary, 1 middle, and 1 high school, so it's kind of fun being in a smaller district. A few things I love include my cat, Ace, which I actually recently got another one named Maple, and I don't have a picture of her in here yet. The Kansas City Chiefs, Kansas basketball, and documentaries. A little bit about my work, a little bit more about my work. I've been at EES since August 2019, so I'm in my 4th year teaching. This is my first grade team. Some pictures here. Which consists of 8 teachers. So we have 7 general education teachers, and then we have 1 special education teacher per grade level, which is really nice to have. The 2020-2021 school year is what brought me to FHSU to pursue my master's. I found myself taking on a lot of leadership roles, and that kind of is what drove me to pursue this as my master's. So, going into the content questions now. I'm going to move my face so I'm not blocking anything. So one of the questions was, what multiple forms of communication strategies for reaching a variety of stakeholder communities do you currently use? So the ones that I currently use include oral communication, nonverbal communication, active listening, and digital/written communication. And those are kind of the order in which I use them the most. And I would say oral communication, communicating with my students, obviously, as well as my colleagues and leadership, and parents as well. Nonverbal communication through my actions and things that I do, active listening, again, with all those stakeholders, and then digital/written communication. Those are sort of my top forms of communication that I use on a day-to-day basis. Some of the tools provided to me, and then some of the ones that I've purchased. So some of the tools provided include my computer, which is really nice to have. Move myself again, sorry. Class Dojo, which is something that we are required to use. I'll go a little bit more into here in a bit. Phone access, we have phone access at our schools. iPad, we were given a teacher iPad as well as student iPads. Zoom access, and we have Promethean boards, which we're hopefully getting updated ones here pretty soon, but those are tools we are provided. Ones that I've provided myself or purchased myself include letters and postcards. Those are some of the written ways that I communicate with students and parents, and other classroom tools that I've kind of gathered throughout the years to help me with my communication. So we'll go on. Any tools that I wish I could use but can't. I honestly think it's less about the tools and more about the approach to communication that makes it effective or not. So no, I don't really feel like there's any tools that I wish I could use but I can't. I feel like I'm given what I need to best communicate, but it's more about how I approach individuals to communicate with them, which is what makes it effective, not necessarily the tools I'm provided. How does the information shared impact your introductions in your professional life? Katruzela reminded me that I am more than just my job. I am a person, not just a professional and a teacher. So that was important for me to read. The first impression is always important because it sets the tone and impacts the relationship building. I consider this and really think about this, especially at the beginning of every year. When I'm meeting new parents and I'm meeting new students, and considering how I'm going to continue to build on that relationship throughout the year. People are more likely to remember us if we describe why we do what we do and who we are, opposed to just what we do. I think this is important. I consider this also when I'm introducing myself, because I want them to know why I'm passionate about teaching, but also why who how I've gotten to where I am today and what makes me me. And I feel like that is just, we preach and preach and preach about relationship building with students, and that is just such an important aspect of it. They don't really care what we do. They don't care that we are teachers. They care why we're teachers and who we are as people and what makes us passionate about teaching, whether they realize it or not. So what methods might we use to introduce ourselves as new building leaders? So I want to describe what I am passionate about in education and what my goals are. So that's kind of where I would start. I think face-to-face is important if possible to introduce myself, whether that be with parents, with students, or with staff members. I think that's incredibly important to kind of have that face-to-face communication that gives the best tone. I feel like that's what people are able to read you best. And then through mood, actions, and demeanor, I also want to be able to introduce myself and communicate who I am as a person through those. Do you follow a set of district strategies, policies, or communicating effectively? Why or why not? We are, as a school, required to use Class Dojo. Not specifically for communication, but a lot of us do use it for communication. But mainly we do use it to show sort of how their students are doing positively, negatively, anything that's going on from a day-to-day basis, which is still, I guess, communication, just not verbal communication. But then we also can send messages, which is something that we are all required to use as Class Dojo. So I think it is really beneficial. I prefer to use more of the positive than the negative aspects of it, just to help build those relationships with the students. We are required to send out a weekly newsletter. That is something where I communicate upcoming events, things we're learning in the classroom, anything that is exciting that we've done that I want to share. That's kind of my way to continue to connect with parents and the community on a weekly basis. We don't have any district policies other than keeping things confidential, and that's also, of course, incredibly important to do as a teacher. So my correlation statement, my assignment demonstrates correlation to the course learning objective because I was able to communicate through oral, written, and digital means regarding effective communication skills with various stakeholders at the community, district, and building level. The relevancy statement. This assignment was relevant to my current learning because as a building leader, I will need to be able to effectively communicate with staff, students, and the community in the best interest of the students. This assignment improved my understanding of promoting community engagement by providing me with the different information to help me communicate and promote good communication with the community. Personal reflection. This assignment gave me some great information that I can use moving forward to effectively communicate with coworkers, students, parents, and my building leader. It also provided me with ways that I can communicate well in order to be a strong building leader. I believe this assignment has helped me be a better educator and a future leader because it provided me with information and reflective opportunities that I have not considered prior to this assignment. I feel better prepared to lead through example and promoting effective communication with all stakeholders. Here's my references, and I included the ones from our little quiz as well. Thank you so much. I look forward to the rest of this course.